Hello and welcome to my channel, the 5D Manifestation Podcast. Today we're going to learn about the Clinton Foundation. Since the e-files came out, you know, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, or Hillary Clinton and Kill Clinton, both are out to testify about any wrongdoings in the e-files. But let's find out more about them and see who they really are. So I have a good video for you, and you make the decision and decide what you really think about them. And well, this video is really about Haiti because Haiti had an earthquake in 2001. I sent money to Haiti, and a lot of people sent millions, even stars, different countries. A lot of humanitarian people sent so much money to rebuild Haiti after the earthquake. Let's find out what the Clinton Foundation did for Haiti. Did they help it or did they destroy it? So let's find out more about it, okay? And I guess after they testify and everything, you can make your decision about who they really are according to the Epstein files, okay? Thank you, Collective and Grand Rising, by the way. Thank you for watching my video, and please leave a comment afterwards. Let's talk about it, and I will respond to you. Let's talk about, what we learned today. All right. Excuse my little setup. This is the best that I can do. Once I, get more technically aware, or once I learn more how to work like my phone, computer, and all this stuff, I'll be able to have better ways to show a video. But this is the best way I can do for now, and I hope you forgive me. And if you have any advice on how I could do it better, where it could like be right on my phone, or I could share the video with you, then actually I think I may have heard how to do that, but that'll be the next video. Right now, this is very important for you to watch, and please, thank you for your time. Okay, let's go.
These earbuds let you hear exactly what people say about you in
Oh,
other languages.
excuse
and they have
the
no idea you understand. You put them in, someone speaks another language, and you hear it in perfect English, instantly, right in your ears. No.
You've heard the name, but not the story.
Let's go. And by the way, if there's anybody that fell down,
The Clinton Foundation.
Oh, okay.
You've heard the
I'll
name,
tell you more.
but not the story. It was billed as a force for good, a global charity that promised to rebuild nations, fight poverty, and change lives. But behind the speeches and the photo ops was something very different. Billions of dollars flowed in, fortunes shifted hands, and favors were traded behind closed doors. What was sold as humanitarian work began to look more like a political currency built not on charity, but on influence. What began as a global charity became one of the most controversial financial machines in American political history. What is the Clinton Foundation? Why is it controversial? Why is it often perceived as a money laundering operation only benefiting the Clintons and liberal political acolytes? Hello, I'm Colin Heaton, former history professor, Army and Marine Corps veteran, and welcome to this episode of Forgotten History. The devastating 2010 earthquake left Haiti in tatters. The country's economy reeled under the biting and excruciating effects of the disaster. Because of their history with Haiti, the Clintons seized this chance in the interest of assisting Haiti in its times of unparalleled difficulty. But their involvement with the earthquake relief programs was the final proof Haitians needed to show that the Clintons' true intentions with the country were to rob it for their own parochial interests. Bill Clinton's influence in Haiti ranges from the 1990s agricultural policies that destroyed the country's rice industry to the meddling in internal affairs and finally to the earthquake. There is a sense of permanence attached to the Clintons' name as regards their activities in Haiti, particularly the Clinton Foundation. When the earthquake struck, global response was to send in donations to Haiti. But of course, that needed a commission that would be designed to have an oversight role as regards to the disbursement of the various relief packages pouring through. The Clintons stepped up to lead the global response. The Interim Haiti Recovery Commission was brought into life, and Bill Clinton was selected to be its co-chair. At that time, Hillary Clinton was still the Secretary of State and thus responsible for channeling the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, relief spending to Haiti. One could not have found an escape from their influence. Co-chairing the commission alongside Bill Clinton was Haitian Prime Minister Jean-Max Bellerive. Some $13.3 billion was pledged by international donors so that Haiti could be rebuilt and the lives of Haitians uplifted. But this was a sleight of hand at best. The IHRC was composed of two parts, one that had the foreigners and one led by the Haitian Prime Minister. Bill Clinton chaired the foreign part, which had all the donors. They had delivered just around $100 million over 2 years, or forgiven $200 million of Haitian debt. Each and every decision made by the Haiti section of the commission had to be endorsed by the foreign section. As the money found its way into the possession of the IHRC, it became increasingly arrogant and opaque. The only thing that came out of the post-earthquake relief plans was the construction of an industrial park called Caracol, which cost $300 million. The U.S. government under Barack Obama was also amenable to financing a power plant. The belief held by the Clintons and their allies in terms of rebuilding Haiti was premised upon employing short-term plans espoused in the foreign aid industry that the U.S. had imposed on Haiti all these years. They hoped that Caracol would attract sizable foreign businesses for the reconstruction of the country's badly fractured economy. It was the same old policy that did not care about the pertinent issue of creating long-lasting projects that would eventually help the poverty-stricken Haitians. The foreign aid industry plans were concerned with benefiting the international players, the private contractors who were friends, relatives, or donors to the Clintons. The industrial park is considered a very big flop by the U.S. Worse still, several hundred farmers were evicted from their land in order to make way for the 600-acre park. Too much emphasis was placed on outside players instead of the Haitian government to effect change. The entire plan failed miserably. The Haitians did not benefit. They remained in total poverty in a country that resembles a nuclear blast site. Nothing happened to lift the Haitians out of their misery, but only lined the pockets of the big firms. Small donors to the relief fund included South Korean textile giant Say Trading Company, which is the main employer at Caracol. They gifted the Clinton Foundation with donations between $50,000 and $100,000. The post-earthquake efforts by the Clintons, particularly Caracol, was a damning failure. The IHRC had little to show for all the money that came through except the Caracol Industrial Park. Not much reconstruction in Haiti was done. Where did all the money go? The Clinton Foundation has refuted claims that it had influence in the running of the IHRC, saying, quote, "Since 2010, the foundation has worked on the high ground in Haiti with a range of partners, helping more than 7,500 farmers lift themselves out of poverty, improving the Haitian environment by planting more than 5 million trees and installing more than 400 kilowatts of clean energy, and supporting women through literacy training and job skills for over 2,000 women," end quote. It has been speculated that some of the money that came through the commission found its way towards sponsoring Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign, which she lost to Donald Trump in 2016. But this is an area she has always been evasive about when probed. They become allegations without proof, but to Haitians, the more she dodges the question, the more she becomes suspicious and pernicious to the interest of Haitians. It is estimated that the IHRC collected over $5.3 billion over 2 years and $9.9 billion in 3 years, but Haitians still find themselves mired in abject poverty. A U.S. Government Accountability Office report under Obama and Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State circumvented the issue by deciding not to investigate any wrongdoing, but the gravity of the failure made them mention that the plans by the IHRC, co-chaired by Bill Clinton, did not align with the Haitians' priorities. Haitians were screwed, but the political coffers for Clinton's 2016 presidential run rapidly overflowed with money, much from foreign sources, which is illegal, but they were diverted through law firms and U.S. companies who recycled their payoffs from the donations. Even liberal activist actor Sean Penn, who was on the ground helping with famine and shelter relief, at least walked the walk as a humanitarian, and he openly blasted the Clinton Foundation for the scam. The failure by the IHRC to rebuild Haiti is still haunting Haiti. The failed agricultural policies by the U.S. made sure Haiti, a country that produced its own rice, would be reliant on U.S. food to the extent that Haiti imports food from the U.S. Foreign aid is continuously pumped into Haiti, and no plan is made to bolster the country's own capacity to rebuild and produce. Haiti is still run on which business finds favor with the U.S., and while the Clintons were in charge of the U.S., they presided over these failed policies. It is high time the onus to build Haiti shifts back to their government. So what actually happened? Money flowed into a giant cluster of NGOs, multilateral agencies, U.S. contractors, and Haitian government channels. Lots of feasibility studies, coordination committees, not direct build and deliver aid. Basically, it went to political supporters and friends. Clinton insiders were paid money for projects. Most were never started and even fewer were completed. But then, these companies made massive donations to her election campaign. Foreign government contributions to the Clinton Foundation did total in the hundreds of millions. Contributors were Saudi Arabia, Norway, the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Australia, Oman, the Netherlands, Germany, Canada, Italy, Ireland, Sweden, and others. The foundation boasted all the money they received, but they also included pledges in the total figure, not just money deposited. Miraculously, over $1 billion made its way to Hillary's election campaign. So, the public takeaway became, this thing sure looks like an influence machine wearing a charity t-shirt. The modern elite NGO mechanism can blend philanthropy, access, and political positioning so tightly that even if it's technically legal, it's socially indistinguishable from influence brokering. It was so bad, even the liberal Vanity Fair did a brutal forensic narrative on the subject in 2015. The Wall Street Journal and other major publications also reported on the missing funds, lack of transparency, and apparent fraud, which resulted.
These glasses automatically turn into sunglasses in bright daylight. All glasses have this tiny flaw, but
The reality is that the Clinton Foundation is the primary case study that permanently ended the era of we can have political dynasties and massive tax-exempt global influence platforms and pretend these things are separate. Too much program money was implementation light and political influence heavy. The Clinton Foundation and the DNC refused to publish their donor list, then claimed their server was hacked to prevent an audit. Essentially, the Clintons received a pass from a federal authority in the Obama Overwatch Collective. The SEC, IRS, FEC, FBI, and other agencies were told hands off on any investigations, despite whistleblowers stating this is a prosecutable money laundering operation. Seems everyone except the Democrats in government knew something was wrong. The Clinton Foundation was playing 21st century global influence peddling using 20th century nonprofit rules, and the whole thing looked like a diplomatic cocktail party with a donation jar. Many have claimed that the entire enterprise was a major conflict of interest due to Hillary Clinton being Secretary of State under Obama, which carried influence with the now defunct USAID and Congress to give American taxpayer money to foreign causes without any financial or legal oversight. Bill Clinton did receive very large speaking fees as a result from entities tied to Russia. Russian finance, while Hillary was Secretary of State, including Hillary Clinton brokering the sale of uranium to Russia. Uranium One, a U.S. mining company that was sold to the Russians after investors pledged more than $100 million to the Clinton Foundation, also started a probe. That story was confirmed in a front-page article by the New York Times. The sale resulted in Bill Clinton being offered $500,000 to give a speech to Renaissance Capital, or RENCAP, in Moscow in 2010, which was at the time majority owned by oligarch Mikhail Prokhorov. Congress was never informed or gave authorization for this transaction. Uranium is a national security issue. The Clinton era is the last time in U.S. history you will see a political dynasty simultaneously run a global NGO, collect sovereign speaking checks, and sit in the cabinet, and not expect a mushroom cloud of suspicion. The Clinton Foundation still exists, And the corruption has not subsided. 85 of the 154 donors to the foundation were also meeting with Hillary while she was at the State Department. Emails turned up showing how the foundation intervened to arrange a meeting between Clinton and the Crown Prince of Bahrain, a country that had been a major foundation donor. A Chicago commodities trader who donated $100,000 to the foundation got a top job on a State Department arms control panel despite having no experience in the area. Throughout all this, the Clintons and their defenders insisted that the foundation was doing great work for mankind. It was helping the poor and sick around the world. They got top ratings from charity rating agencies. They said there wasn't any hard evidence of wrongdoing. But the facts now prove otherwise. After Clinton lost the 2016 election, she immediately shuttered the Clinton Global Initiative and laid off 22 employees. Financial documents showed that contributions and grants to the Clinton Foundation plunged since Hillary lost her election bid and she was no longer Secretary of State or a senator. Donations dropped from $216 million in 2016 to just $26.5 million in 2017, a stunning 88% fall because she then had no influence to peddle for profits. The only reasonable explanation is that donors weren't interested in what the foundation supposedly did for humanity. They wanted influence. They were interested in the political favors they knew their money would buy. Throughout Clinton's tenure as Secretary of State, the foundation pulled in an average of $254 million a year without any federal oversight, as would be expected of a 501c3 nonprofit. There was not even an IRS audit. In recent years, even more whistleblowers and investigators have painted a damning picture of financial misconduct, alleging the foundation operated as a closely held family partnership rather than a legitimate charity. Yet repeatedly probes into these allegations by the IRS and the FBI have been abruptly derailed, raising suspicions of political interference and a deep state shielding powerful elites. Newly unearthed documents, reported by Just the News, reveal a pattern of halted investigations, from the FBI's 2016 inquiries to the IRS's 2019 criminal probe. In 2017, financial experts John Moynihan, a retired DEA financial crimes analyst, and Larry Doyle, a corporate tax compliance officer, submitted over 6,000 pages of evidence to the IRS and FBI alleging serious financial improprieties by the Clinton Foundation. Their claims, detailed in IRS Form 211, Applications for Whistleblower Rewards, included misuse of donated funds, commingling of personal and charitable activities, and failure to register as a foreign agent under the Foreign Agents Registration Act, or FARA. Remember, they went after Trump's people on the same charge. They argued that the foundation, with $2.8 billion collected and over $400 million in net assets, operated as a conduit for personal enrichment and political influence, not charity. Doyle told lawmakers, quote, "The investigation clearly demonstrates that the foundation was not a charitable organization per se, but, in point of fact, was a closely held family partnership," end quote. Moynihan added that the foundation functioned as an agent of foreign governments, citing questionable financial trails involving the Clinton Health Access Initiative, the Gates Foundation, USAID, and even the World Health Organization. An interview with Andre Kessel, the foundation's CFO, who allegedly admitted he was unable to stop Bill Clinton from commingling personal and charitable activities and claimed to know where all the bodies are buried, was telling. The IRS investigation that was legitimately started was stopped by Obama. Declassified memos, later released by FBI Director Kash Patel, showed that in March 2016, Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates ordered agents to shut it down. Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe required personal approval for every investigative step into the foundation or the Clintons, effectively stalling the probes. IRS agents reviewed the evidence, and at least one agent concluded it meant that the entire Clinton Foundation enterprise is a fraud. Agents then moved to treat the whistleblowers as cooperating witnesses and even set up secure computer servers to hold the material they had collected. By the time the 2016 election neared, all 4 FBI investigations were effectively dead, with senior officials cited as restricting activity for months. While the Clinton Foundation probes were stifled, the FBI launched a full investigation into Trump's alleged Russia ties based upon a single conversation in a London wine bar, greenlighting it in 3 days. That just shows you how deep the corruption goes. Peter Schweitzer, speaking on OANN with Matt Gaetz, called this a double standard, noting that while Clinton's probes were killed, a fictional investigation into Trump was aggressively pursued. This disparity fuels claims of a deep state protecting the Clintons while targeting their political rivals. And see our video on the deep state. In the end, the Clinton Foundation operated as a conduit for political and personal gain, wrapped in the veneer of global charity. The only question left is whether any administration will ever have the will to investigate it without interference. Was the Clinton Foundation corrupt? We let you decide. Thank you for watching this episode of Forgotten History. If you liked what you saw, please click like, share, and subscribe. And if you would like to assist with the ever-increasing cost of production, please consider becoming a channel member and joining our Patreon page.
Okay. Thank you for watching that video. Let me pause it
Thanks for watching.
Okay, so that's the Clinton Foundation for you. I just wanted to educate you about the Clintons since they're, on mainstream right now. And their foundation also, during that time when they were supposed to be helping Haiti, Haitians were complaining that there were children that were being flown out. Children were being flown out of Haiti. The ones that lost their parents in the earthquake were being flown out of Haiti through Hillary Clinton and through CPS. Mind you, CPS took a lot of people's children. They removed my children from my house. Okay, and I'm gonna do a video about CPS and child, you know what. But with that being said, the Clintons were flying babies and children out of Haiti, the ones that lost their parents. So a lot of orphans through the agency of CPS. So with that being said, I'm going to do a deep dive on that, a video on that, okay? Coming up soon. Thank you for watching, and you can make a decision about, the Clintons, okay? All right, have a great day.